As you might know, Courtney Love is a controversial figure. She fronted trailblazing alt-rock as Hole, racked up modern rock radio hallmarks like Violet, Miss World and Celebrity Skin. However, most know her for her famous husband, and/or her contentious public persona. And because of that, she's accrued an array of enemies. And some of those enemies have written songs to express their complicated feelings. Nearly 8 years ago, I talked about how I'll Stick Around, Hollaback Girl, and a few other alternative hits are probably about her. Well, here's the sequel. These are some more songs that are maybe, probably, about Courtney Love. I feel like in the ecosystem of 90s alternative music, Courtney Love trusted and respected REM's Michael Stipe the most. They'd known each other since Hole played Athens, Georgia in 1991. Stipe was godfather to her daughter Frances, and when she made her appearance at the MTV Music Awards a month after her husband's passing, Stipe was by her side. As such, she believes that 2 of his band's songs are about her. Crush with Eyeliner was the band's 3rd single from 1994's Monster, and a number 4 hit in Iceland. Woozy tremolo guitar, a crunchy groove, and distorted vocals give the feel of grunge. Stipe's lyrics talk of admiration, authenticity, and sad tomatoes.
She's a sad tomato.
A guarded lyricist, Stipe has since admitted the song is about glam rock reprobates, the New York Dolls.
My crush with eyeliner.
Their rock and roll personas caked in made-up sneers and gender fluidity.
She's a real woman child.
Stipe even going as far as explicitly referencing one of their songs. But you can see how Love got there. The eyeliner, the shielded inner sadness, faking it so real she is beyond fake. When asked for a reason why it's definitely about her by Rolling Stone's David Fricke in December 1994, she stated,
She's 3 miles up that road.
And the fact that when me and Kurt went to Atlanta, Michael gives us eyeliner. He knows I'm going through an eyeliner phase. And before I even look at it, I go, it's a Vader, right? No cruelty to animals? Michael, get us the Maybelline. The other track she claims is about her is Country Feedback from 1991's Out of Time, specifically the line,
We've been through fake breakdown, self-hurt, plastics,
referencing the dark times that Stipe has talked her through.
self-help, self-pain, yes, psychics, fuck off.
Conversely, both Country Feedback and the same album's Losing My Religion are seen as songs about REM's struggle with fame and remaining true to their roots.
These clothes don't fit us right. I'm to blame.
But with Michael Stipe's enigmatic lyrics, and the song being released months before they've even met, it's impossible to know for sure. So sometime in the late 80s, early 90s, Courtney Love and the Smashing Pumpkins' Billy Corgan were an item. Not that Corgan's girlfriend at the time knew it. It ended up fizzling out. Corgan got married, Courtney found Kurt. But there's a very good chance that the whole song, Violet, is about him.
A song about a jerk. I hexed him. Now he's losing his hair.
And Corgan too probably wrote some songs about her. But which ones? Love has suggested that the whole of Siamese Dream is about her. And no, probably not. But Corgan has implied that its sweet swan song, Luna, is Courtney coded. It was written in a hotel room in London on a 3-week stay. I am in love with someone that doesn't love me. My songs are better than hers. This is my way to prove a point not worth making. I lean my back up against the wall of my room, pushing my spine up straight. My guitar has been painted dayglow at the hands of a sweet madman. I sing a love song in an empty room. It is for the moon. It can never be for the one you love. As the 90s went on, they kept on bumping into each other. Did you know that Corgan co-wrote some songs on Celebrity Skin?
Oh, make me over.
And as such, there's speculation, and Love has asserted in a BBC Radio 6 interview, that she inspired a couple of the more bitter tracks on 1995's Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Bodies with its chorus. And Where Boys Fear to Tread, supposedly about Love's mid-90s relationship with Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor. Both, though, are cryptic, vague, and Corgan hasn't confirmed or denied anything. Many also think Nine Inch Nails' track Reptile is about love. But the timelines don't line up. Reznor and Love not meeting until Hole's support slot on the Further Down the Spiral tour in late 1994. By that point, Reptile had already been written, recorded, and released. You Know You're Right was the last song Nirvana recorded together in January 1994.
I will never bother you. I will never promise to.
It was a song they played in soundcheck for months, and even played it live once in October 1983. But due to Cobain's death, it went unreleased, and would be the subject of a 2001 lawsuit between the surviving members of Nirvana and Cobain's widow, Courtney Love. Grohl and Novoselic wanted to release a 45-track box set of Nirvana's unreleased material, B-sides, acoustic demos, and the like, to coincide with the 10th anniversary of Nevermind. However, Love felt that You Know You're Right was a hit, would get lost in a free CD box set, and could instead be used to shift a single CD greatest hits collection, like the Beatles' One album. So they went to war via the courts, and almost a year later a settlement was made. Then, after the track leaked online in September 2002, it was released as a single, becoming Nirvana's fifth and last modern rock chart number 1. Written so close to Cobain's death, fans have scoured the lyrics for clues that reveal his state of mind in his final days. The overwhelming feeling is that of hurt and frustration. Aided by the molten, what Joe Gross of the Rolling Stone called guitar lava of its chorus, and the haze that morph into pain. As such, most have come to the conclusion it's about his wife. Similar to Heart-Shaped Box, its chorus seems to be a sarcastic, fed-up response to an argument. While the verses paint a picture of an unaware, self-obsessed partner.
Nothing really bothers her. She just wants to love herself.
Love herself had covered the song in 1995 for Hole's MTV Unplugged set, though with different lyrics.
I'm walking in the past, always knew we'd come to this.
She dedicated her version to Cobain's mother. Another Seattle band, Mudhoney, may have paved the way for Nirvana and Pearl Jam's success, but they saw less of it themselves. Their fifth album, 1995's My Brother the Cow, is as definitive an end statement on grunge as you could hope to point to, with lots of sideway glances at what Seattle had become after the death of Kurt Cobain, while also not selling very well. Its first single, Into Your Shtik, was another song that Love and others have claimed to be about her, if only because of one lyric.
Why don't you blow your brains out too?
Everybody thought it was about Courtney. I remember asking Mark, is this what I think it is? He said no, it's not who you think it is, and I'm not going to tell you who it's about. And that was it. I never got anywhere asking Mark what his lyrics were about. That said, Mudhoney singer Mark Arm stated in Everybody Loves Our Town that it's a song with 3 little stories about 3 different people in the Seattle scene.
All of you make me
Mitchell, with his 19-year-old Hollywood girlfriend, is Hull's Eric Erlandson, dating Drew Barrymore.
Mitchell's got a new girl, she's 19, Hollywood model, star of the screen.
Stan, with the bandaged hands, was Allison Chains' Lane Staley.
Cut his fist, punching hospital glass, made his myth, now he's trash.
And Susie, with the new job, was Janet Billing, head of Nirvana and Hull's management agency, too starstruck to do anything about her client's dangerous drug use.
Working with a management to the stars, kissing ass is part of the job.
Unlike other artists on this list, as far as I know, violin-wielding alt-rocker Tracy Bonham has never met Courtney Love. But within 1996 modern rock #1, Mother Mother's raw-throated tumble into its chorus, there was always going to be comparisons between her and the Hole singer.
I'm dirty, I'm losing my mind, everything's fine.
The press always does this. They compare and contrast, especially with female artists. But in this case, it was on point. According to Bonham, Mother Mother was a conscious lampoon of Love's raw.
Go on, take everything I want you to.
At the time, loads of female singers were screaming, especially singers like Courtney Love. I didn't love that style, but I heard irony in it when I started screaming "everything's fine" as I jumped off the cliff.
I'm dirty, I'm losing my mind, everything's fine.
I immediately stopped playing and started laughing. I said out loud, "Oh my god, I cannot write that." That is when I knew I had to write that. There is another shot aimed Love's way on her 1996 debut, The Burdens of Being Upright.
She'll suck the living down to size 3.
According to Bonham, Kisses mocks her vampirish tendencies and attention-getting tactics.
She kisses harder than me. Guess I'm not that hungry.
While not completely about her, Love gets a less than complimentary shout-out in 1998's You Get What You Give.
Fashion shoots with Becky Hansen, Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson.
But more because Courtney Love fits the meter, rather than any particular bad feelings, on songwriter Greg Alexander's part.
You're all fixed, run to your mansions, come around, we'll kick your asses.
A 90s classic and only hit for the New Radicals, the last section's rapid-fire lyrics were an experiment to see if the press would focus on the first part, railing against the current failing US health and financial systems, or the celebrity-on-celebrity backbiting.
Health insurance with our flying, FDA, big bank is buying.
I don't have a strong view on any of the artists mentioned in the song. There's this whole hysteria and curiosity over peripheral stupidity, instead of focusing on real issues. And a lot of people I talked to asked me about those real things, while a lot of rock media tried to turn it into a catfight. Alexander ended up apologizing to Beck in person, and he collaborated with Hansen in 2004.
We're lost without each other. We're lost without each other.
Manson was the only one to get snippy with his mention, preferring not to be cited in the same breath as Love. But given recent history, it might be fair to consider him the radioactively toxic one. This one has a bit of a background. Stay with me. In the late 80s, Courtney Love was living in LA and took a shine to the singer of a local glam punk band, Inga Lorre of Nymphs. Similar to Babes in Toyland's Cat B. Ellen, Lorre was seemingly a model for Love's whole deal, particularly the no fucks given attitude. Lorre would become infamous for urinating on their A&R's desk after he had held back the release of the band's debut by 2 years. At the time, Love wanted them to be friends, but Lorre wasn't so keen. So informed by this rebuff, on Hole's first album, 1991's Pretty on the Inside, there is the track Sassy, a feral noise punk blast. With some of the only intelligible words heard amid the chaos, being a voicemail message to Love from Lorre.
But I would have done anything for you. Honey, your reputation is shit.
Lorre would respond in song 8 years later on 1999's She's Not Your Friend. Not only touching on their feud, but also making reference to Love's former husband, his lyric on Come As You Are, and heavily implying a connection. As Lorre told All Star in 1998, the whole difference between me and Courtney is I never wanted to be a star. With Courtney, she has nothing to do with art or music.
She can tell you what you want, but she's not your fool.
1999's Coattails of a Dead Man is another fan-speculated attack on Love. Primus abandoning their usual bass-slapping funk metal for a nightmarish circus waltz, with Tom Waits and tricky collaborator Martina Topley-Bird along for the ride.
On the coattails of a dead man, she'll ride on the coattails of...
The story that the song spins mirrors the least charitable interpretation of Cobain and Love's relationship. A talented, humble young man meets a greedy, fame-hungry woman.
He gave her love, she took his name.
And after his self-inflicted passing, she shamelessly reaps all the sympathy.
The bigger the camera, the bigger the tears.
Whether the similarity was intended or just a coincidence, we don't know, as the band have never said one way or another. But aside from the young man's vice in the song being Jim Beam and not heroin,
He found comfort in the bottle of your Jimmy Beam.
they are pretty much one-to-one. Remember Nerf Herder? The nerdy band with the Star Wars name who did the Buffy theme. After something of a cult hit with the song Van Halen in 1987, the band turned their jokester lyricism on Ms. Love with 2000's Courtney. A slightly confused but well-researched pop-punk love song, it contains references to Courtney's love of Fleetwood Mac.
You came from some town out in the sticks to become the modern Stevie Nicks.
Her role in the People vs. Larry Flint.
I saw you in a movie about pornography.
And Hole's then recent single Malibu.
Drive away to Malibu.
Then we can drive away to Malibu.
Though singer Parry Grip isn't the most subtle or nuanced Casanova.
Hope I'm not out of place, but Courtney Love, sit on my face.
The band's label hoped that the track would cause a stink and get their second album, How to Meet Girls, some additional attention. But at the same time, Nerf Herder feared reprisal, so sent it to Love's people to see if it was okay. Courtney Love has this reputation of suing people and hitting people and stuff, so the record company was really worried about it. Her lawyer said she was cool with it. It's cool, but it's a little anticlimactic. The only thing her lawyer said she didn't like was being called saggy, but that's understandable.
You were looking pale and kind of saggy.
Too Cool Queenie from 2001 mines a similar vein to Coattails of a Dead Man, another ballad of Kurt and Courtney, with enough narrative vagueness to claim deniability, this time with Elliott Smith-style harmonies. And yeah, perhaps the Stone Temple Pilots wrote a song about another high-profile rock and roll suicide with an oblivious, party-crashing partner.
She would always crash the party. It was no surprise.
But the sting in the tail is that singer Scott Weiland seems to morbidly imply, with the word so, that this partner drove him to it.
She said he could do no right, so he took his life.
Love herself clocked that the song is most likely about her, telling Anna Faris on her podcast that the song was unfair, and that characterizing her as a self-destructive blonde is just shooting fish in a barrel. Come with me and you'll see another delve into online speculation. So this is what we know for sure. In 2001, the Strokes were being heralded as the next big thing in rock, a potential return to the old ways, scruffy boys rewriting new wave for the 2000s. Their ascent resulted in a load of hype, magazine covers, but few actual radio-conquering hits. However, within this cloud of buzz, Courtney Love approached Strokes singer Julian Casablancas backstage at one of their shows with a simple piece of advice. When Bono sits you down to have the biggest rock star in the world talk, as he had with Kurt Cobain in the 90s, you f***ing listen. And from this exchange, supposedly, came the 2003 song Meet Me in the Bathroom. But maybe not. Courtney Love's debut solo album, America's Sweetheart, from 2004, has a song called But Julian, I'm a Little Older Than You, about an implied fling with Casablancas. But also, how she feels the Strokes are ripping off the Ramones and Clash. In her song, she references the Strokes song, Meet Me in the Bathroom. Though the original song actually seems to be about a separate bathroom stall hookup. Because of this, the two songs are now eternally entwined. And because Meet Me in the Bathroom came out first, people think it provoked Love's response. While Courtney Love was getting hit from all sides by seemingly the majority of modern rock radio, alongside Michael Stipe, she had an ally in Shirley Manson from Garbage. They had a lot in common. They both appeared in the alternative scene at the same time, vying to be heard amongst the countless boys and bands, writing attitude-filled staples of 90s rock, eclectic, exciting, and so vitally their own. Both were also a bit older than the boys around them, 29 at the time of Only Happy When It Rains. Garbage was Manson's third go at making a band happen.
I'm only happy when it rains.
Love was 2 years her senior. Manson too experienced discrimination at the hands of tastemakers, label owners, and other bands. But nothing compared to Love.
Yeah, I miss Courtney. I have to say, I miss everything that she stood for, and her wildness and her intelligence and her courage. You know, she has endured so much misogyny and sexism. It's astounding. You know, they've basically accused her of killing her own husband. You know, I mean, it's like frightful. Like what she's endured is pretty astounding, and she's remarkably fragile in a way, and also just this incredible, like you said, powerhouse.
On 2005's Bleed Like Me, Manson penned a warm ode, supposedly to her contemporary. The pump-up rallying cry, right between the eyes. Comparing Love to a phoenix, the track is filled with words of encouragement, with a don't back down, kick 'em in the teeth sentiment towards the haters. As much as Courtney Love has endured, and it's a lot, she's not dead yet. Courtney Love is a controversial figure, but undeniably influential. She taught countless 90s girls that they could use their inner rage as a weapon. Hole's Live Through This from 1994 is as primal, powerful, and emotionally raw an album as any of her contemporaries created. But she's also something of a Forrest Gump figure, turning up at musical flashpoints and hanging out with Echo and the Bunnymen, The Clash, Nirvana, Jim Carrey, and The Strokes. Did you know she's in the video for the Ramones' I Wanna Be Sedated, 3 years before anyone had heard of her? Furthermore, she called out and warned others about Harvey Weinstein's cruel machinations before almost anyone else. She is much more than a figure of ridicule and hate. so much more than just who her husband was. Polarizing and provocative, Courtney Love. She's inspired a lot of songs. Thanks for watching. So did I miss anything? Comment down below. Even if I did, I don't think I can return to this well a third time. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and why don't you share it with a couple of people? It really does help. As always, I'd like to thank everyone that supports me. And I'll see you next time for a new British canon on an 80s pop classic.